Recording.
3, 2, 1. Welcome to another episode of
Business Bros.
As always, we want to take a moment to remind you why you are here listening to us today. If you're investing your valuable time into our podcast, it's because you understand the truth behind Albert Einstein's words.
Problems cannot be solved by the same level of thinking that created them.
So if you want to find financial freedom, make more money, quit your current 9-to-5 job,
Or if you want to increase your bottom line, be a better investor, or be a better business owner,
then you must follow the number one rule in business, which is
be of service to others.
Business Bros would love to help you maximize your profits by helping you find ways to be of service to more people alongside our fellow entrepreneurs and the Money Coaching Club, aka
E equals MC squared.
So please join the conversation at Business Bros Pod, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
And YouTube.
And YouTube. That's right, and YouTube. And you can find previous episodes on our website, siasfirst.com. That's siasfirst.com. And as you listen today, remind yourself of these 3 questions. Why did you get into business in the first place?
What does your life look like when you help others make more money?
And how can you... What? I always forget the last question. How can you take advantage of the information that you hear today?
Well, this is why we're going to record it and change the whole intro up anyway.
Exactly.
But that all comes from
Scheduling
free coaching call. If success is for me, schedule a coaching call for free.
All right. This is the last pre-recorded episode that we're going to be doing today.
The last one for the day.
We did all 3 episodes on New Year's Day because I'm going to be heading out of town and don't know for sure if I'd be able to record while I was out of town.
Probably
so
not.
It's just tough with the travel and everything.
Yeah, I mean, well, tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
Yeah,
why
for
the
sure.
hell not?
All right. Well, Wednesday, which is actually tomorrow, which is Wednesday, right?
Tomorrow is Wednesday.
So by the time you hear this will have already happened. But on Wednesday, I'm going to Disneyland.
Whoop,
So
whoop.
family trip to Disneyland, which I honestly don't really look forward to going to Disneyland.
Oh, come on.
I'm one of those, dude. I'm one of those.
You are the biggest bah humbug. Like, it's not even Christmas time anymore. You are the biggest bah humbug. I love Disneyland.
Yeah, you love to go and pay for overpriced food and stand in long lines. I get it. Man,
Man, dude, Disneyland has magic. And not to mention, I'm a huge Marvel nerd and Star Wars nerd. And so I love to go and ride Star Tours like 3 or 4 times because each time it's different. I found out there's like 96 different combinations that you could ride on Star Tours.
What? That's
yeah,
crazy.
96
I don't
different
plan on
combinations.
going in 96 times.
That's why you would never get the annual pass.
Never.
But I did that. Vanessa and I, we did do that. And we went like 10 times during the year. And it was awesome. So much fun. And then across the way, now they're putting in the Marvel land. And they're getting ready to open up Star Wars land over there. Yeah. Disneyland, California. And dude, I love Disney.
Okay, here's the thing, all right? So apparently we're going to go back again somewhere within the 13 days because we're buying the park hopper or whatever it's supposed to be.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know. That's my understanding of what's going to happen, right?
All right.
So I got to do this twice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boo-hoo.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Your life is so tough.
I know. But I did tell myself I'm going to go. I'm going to have a good time. It's going to be fun. You know, I'll have a different attitude. But in the meantime, I can bah humbug my way through it. It's just not necessarily my cup of tea, right? It's just not totally my thing. But I know my kids will like it. I know my wife will like it. And it's going to be a good time. So suck it up, buttercup.
Happy family, happy dadly.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't even... Whatever, however that goes, but it works.
So I went with it.
So that's Wednesday. So I'm not going to be able to record Wednesday. I'll be gone early in the morning. I'm probably going to get back to really late. Yep. And then on Thursday for the pipeline owners meeting, I'm going to Texas because our partner lives in Texas and we do quarterly meetings out there, right? So my flight leaves at 6:20 in the morning. So I'm going to come back from Disneyland tired as hell and wake up early, hop on a plane, go over there, talk the whole day about everything, and then fly back the next day. And so I'll be back on Friday. We probably could record on Friday.
But you're going to be pooped.
I'm going to be done.
And the episode would have to come out Friday morning anyway, so...
Yeah. But I mean, we'd be recording for Sunday, or for Monday, essentially. I'm like,
so now everybody's listening to this on Friday, and you understand why all of this was being done 3 days ahead of time.
And we have to, dude. Do what you don't want to do when you don't want to do it at the highest level. And it's New Year's Day.
It is New Year's Day.
So it's not like it... I mean, we did have kind of the day off. You slept in, I guess, kind of.
I slept. No, you know what? Actually, I didn't. I was up at 7:30.
What time did you go to bed?
Like that. 2.
What time did you crawl into bed?
A little hair of the dog never hurt nobody.
Right?
No. I probably got into bed somewhere around 2:00, and got a decent time. Went and walked the dog, and ended up spending a good chunk of my morning and into the afternoon at the museums in Balboa Park. And I'm telling you,
it was a good time.
Yeah,
you're gonna hit up every single one.
I am.
I know you do, because you live right down the street, so it's not like it's not like it's a far walk for you to go to Balboa Park.
Not, yeah. So it's great. It's so there you go. So that's what your week is looking like. Wednesday, Disneyland, lucky dog, and then headed off to Texas. And it's funny, man. You are the biggest homebody.
I am, dude. I know.
You're the biggest homebody. Like, just leave me alone. I would rather just watch Disney movies and Marvel movies and, like, enjoy it than to actually go to Disneyland.
And here's the weird thing, okay? So, but what I'm projecting on, online is different. Like, if you just saw only an online representation of me, it's completely different than if you saw the real me. Right. Yeah. And it's funny because I heard this was, Gary Vee is one of my guys, right? So I listen to Gary Vee a lot, and it was funny because he said something like, reality is fake and the internet world tends to be reality these days. Like, everything's in reverse, right? Because how people see me is exactly what I put out there. I put out the Facebook persona of us being, what I do on a daily basis. When they see when I'm shopping at Walmart, if you want to see my, like, family life, then you go to, like, my Snapchat, because that one I have fun with the kids, right? I mean, everything we do, like, you can see me being funky at Walmart or whatever on Snapchat.
Yeah, doing the Charlie Brown dance.
Yeah, all kinds of weird stuff, right? And right, or that stuff, or like Mila likes to be on TikTok or Musically, whatever, and we'll do little dance skits or whatever on that one too. So those are the fun ones, right? Those are the fun social media stuff that we do. And then if you're on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, well, that's the business persona me, right? And that's what I put out there as far as professional type things. These are little tidbits of information. These are the podcast interviews. These are everything that we do professionally. So what you see over there is different than what you meet me in real life. In real life, if you're meeting me, a lot of the time it's behind a computer screen because I'm editing or answering emails or paying bills or catching up on books, right? Like, there's a lot of behind, sitting my butt in a chair type stuff.
2019 is going to be different for you, though. 2019 is going to be the year of abundance, and there's going to be an abundance of you going out and meeting people and networking and getting in front of others and telling them what it is that you do.
For sure. I mean, and that's just part of what we're doing here with the podcast anyways, right? I mean, I'm looking forward to next week because the calendar's starting to fill up again. By the way, if any of you out there listening want to be part of the podcast, let us know. Hit us up and send us an email, businessbros@csfirst.com. You send us an email and we'll love to get you, on the podcast. You don't necessarily have to be in insurance and real estate. We are the Business Bros, so you can talk to us about a number of different topics. We'd love to hear about a bunch of different stuff. It's just right now we tend to be focusing our attention on the real estate side because I am a realtor and James is in the insurance side, so that's why we got the little business, the pipeline logo here on the side. So in case you have any insurance questions, make sure you hit us up, businessbros@csfirst.com, or you can send us individual emails, hernan@csfirst.com or james@csfirst.com. We'd love to just hear from you, and you can talk all the shit you want if you want. That's how tell us we suck or whatever. But for the most part, usually with the emails we get are constructive or questions about whatever it is that's going on in your business, and we love that. So send us whatever it is that you got.
For sure. I mean, this is, again, one of those things that we're changing up here in 2019. We want to make sure that we're doing the same thing that we tell everybody to do, which is to get in front of others and tell them what it is that we do. So you got the real estate bro over there. You got the insurance bro right here. Not to mention karaoke.
Karaoke. I mean, there's just a bunch of stuff. By the way, he tried to get me to do karaoke yesterday.
I totally did. I totally did. Come on, man. It was like the
You act like there's ever a time when I hop in front of a mic and talk.
Just can't do it in front of family? What?
I don't know, dude. It's
Come
just
on,
karaoke's
man.
a weird thing.
You know what it is? You know what it is? The problem is you were sober.
Yeah, well,
that's literally the problem.
I'm sober right now, and I'm on the mic.
Well, yeah, I know, but trying to get you to do karaoke, let me just get a little bit of alcohol in you,
but
and
see,
that's
I was
the
already
changer.
singing anyways. I just didn't do it with the mic in my hand.
That's the whole point.
Yeah, I know. All right.
Anyway,
all right. Let's jump into today's show notes. I'm wasting some time having some fun on this thing. That's not why they listen to the Business Bros. Right.
Sure it is. Sure it is. They want to get to know us. They like us.
Of course they do. All right. So, how to make 2019 the year of abundance. That's his tag word, by the way, for this week. Year of abundance.
Yeah. Last week it was strategic partnerships, and this week it's 2019, the year of abundance.
The year of abundance.
Okay. Or if we add my co-creator. Vanessa, if we add her word is receiving, so abundant receiving.
Abundant receiving. I like that.
I love it.
Oh, let's see how that translates to other things. I don't
know. whoa.
Abundant receiving.
Where are we going with that?
I was talking about Christmas. All right. Back to the show.
All right, so how to make sure that 2019 is the year of abundance. So we got a bunch of things that we're talking about, and yours was stop fighting it, go prospect.
Dude, I mean, it's lead generation. Okay, here's the deal. Here's the simplicity of it. So you've had the buzzword of strategic partnerships. I redubbed it as relationships, right? Because really, that's what it's about.
It absolutely is.
And I genuinely really dug meeting people and having them on the podcast and getting to hear their stories. I really, really like that.
No, same here. And actually, when Katon, I'm telling you, Katon mentioned it on one of his Facebook Lives, and as soon as it came out of his mouth, he was like,
it tasted funny, yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't like that. Strategic partnerships. And, we mentioned it, and strategic partnerships, it sounds good.
It's a big word, and it's businessy.
It's businessy,
yeah.
But it's also cold, and, it's definitely about relationships, and you were saying how much you've enjoyed having people on the podcast, and me too. And I can't wait, again, to follow up with these people later on this year because I know that we're going to talk to them again. I know that we're going to have them on the podcast again.
For sure.
And we're going to get to see how far they've come.
Oh, dude. Well, part of that is in the lead generation aspect of it, right? So building these relationships has opened up the door for us in so many different ways. And lead generation is always looked to as a horrible thing. Like prospecting has a negative connotation. You think cold calling, you think of, getting told no all the time. And yeah, sure, that is going to happen. But if your intention is to just go out and make more friends, to go out and learn about what it is other people are doing, to get to know people, it's actually fun. Believe it or not. It's actually cool to say hi to somebody you've never talked to before, and get to know them and have them tell you what it is that they do. And then somehow in that conversation, you're going to also end up telling them what it is that you do.
I've talked about the genuineness that you need when you are building those relationships. If you're coming to it from a place of, well, let me just build my network and get as many people, to know who I am and this, that, and the other and blah, blah, blah. If that's what you're doing, it's not going
It's going to suck, dude. Let's be honest. It's going to suck. It's going to suck for you because you're not going to want to do it. It's going to suck for them because they're going to hate the fact that you're calling them or you're interjecting into their life. No one likes to be interrupted. Right? No one likes to be interrupted and being told, buy this. It sucks, dude. It sucks. Right? But everybody likes to have friends. And part of that building the relationship, part of getting to know these people is going to be one of the biggest things that we're going to focus our attention on our lead generation source, which is on the social media side. Right? For us, building the relationship is just the start. getting them on the show is just the beginning. Oftentimes when you hear the interviews on the Business Bros podcast, we've never talked to this person before. Maybe once, maybe for a couple minutes just to hear their voice and see if they're energetic at all, to be honest. And that's it. Other than that, we don't know their origin story. We do a little bit of Google research real quick, a little bit of Facebook research, see who they are, and that's about it. Then the story comes out when we actually talk to them, and it parallels what happens in real life with you anyways, right? Any other person who doesn't have a podcast is going to go out and meet people on a daily basis, and you're not necessarily selling them. You're just kind of getting to know them. I mean, think about just a small geographical area. I like how Ryan Lipsey and Haley Collier are always talking about farming a geological location, farming your local neighborhood, or farming out a specific area, right?
Farming right around your success areas.
Or yeah, you can do that, a recently sold area. Farming, in other words, farming is a way of saying you're cultivating something, right? That's what farmers do. They cultivate the land, right?
So this is one of our lead generation tools right here that we're talking about, which is knocking on doors.
Knocking on doors, right? And this is you cultivating the land. If you go out and as a farmer, you go and you turn the soil and you put your minerals in, and you put your seeds in, and you water regularly, and you take out little what do they call them? Weeds and stuff.
Those of you in the country who actually do farming, don't judge us city boys for not knowing what the hell we're talking about.
It's metaphoric. So anyways, if you actually cultivate the ground and you plant seeds, ultimately you're going to grow stuff, right? You're going to have, if you plant corn will grow.
That's the idea.
Right? You plant watermelons will grow if you nurture that ground. It's the same thing when you're going out and prospecting. It's the same thing when you're knocking on these doors. If you just had a for sale sign that went up and you've sold a property in a neighborhood, and you go out and you go cultivate that area, that doesn't mean you knock on the door one time. It means you go out and you make friends around that area. You find the people who are out talking, who are out doing their yard, who are mowing the lawns, who are taking care of their homes and are curious to know about what's happening in the homes around them. You go out and you cultivate a relationship, you build a friendship with these people, then they're going to refer to you business, because it's more than just a one-time conversation. And I think that's the biggest flaw that we are missing in the prospecting era of today, right? Everything gets passed up too quick. If I don't like your picture, I swipe left or I swipe right or whatever it is that you're supposed to swipe, up, down, wherever it is you're going to swipe. You're going to just keep going, right?
Somebody doesn't use Tinder.
I don't use Tinder. Right? I was afraid of swiping in the wrong direction.
That's so great. I'm like, you're over here like having dated for 17 years?
Oh, almost 20 years already.
Jeebus. Like, what the hell's a Tinder? Which way do you swipe?
When I was dating, there was no Tinder.
No. You had to do it the old-fashioned way and,
say hello,
meet a girl that you worked with and take her out to dinner.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, and that's kind of what's going on today, right? It's you're just swiping left, right, up, down, whatever. You're moving on. And that's what's happening in real life too. You're knocking on a door, it doesn't work, you move on. You knock on the door, it doesn't work, you move on. But if you actually cultivate the relationships that you make, when you meet somebody, you take down their information, you get to know them, they have questions about what's going on in the neighborhood, you follow up. And you actually answer the questions, and you continue to build a relationship. It's gonna turn into more. This is where you're expanding your circle of influence by going out and actually prospecting and actually developing real relationships. Your intention is not to go out and sell a home to the next person that knocks on the door. It just does not work that way. And if you do, congratulations, a lucky one fell on your lap.
Woo-hoo!
People win the lotto too, right? It happens. But that's not the intention of what you're doing. You're out there building relationships. You're out there being of service to others. You're out there knocking on doors to answer questions for your community. And if you do that, that's what's going to take you to a whole new level. That's where your mindset needs to be. That's why knocking on a door and you don't know what to say because you're trying to close a deal. You're just trying to get to know people. Right? You're just trying to get to know people.
That's it. And one of the things that we need to make sure that we're doing is scheduling time for that lead generation, for that door knocking, for the follow-up. It varies. If it's a follow-up from a referral, you want to make sure to call that as quickly as possible. There's not necessarily a time block set up for that, but each of these follow-ups should be leading to appointments. right?
Absolutely.
And you need to schedule your day. You need to schedule the time for the lead generation, for the call blocks, for the door knocking, for whatever it is that you need to do. And then you schedule the other part of your day for the appointments. When it comes right down to it, you have no choice. You have to do the work. Stop fighting it. Go prospect.
All right, let's talk about some examples, because people always, I said door knocking, but they're always like, well, who do I call? Well, one example was you go around a neighborhood of a just sold. We just said that one, right? Another one could be you have, there could be establishments that you go to frequently, right? If you're in a neighborhood and go to a particular Starbucks, just go ahead and door knock around that area of that Starbucks. Mm-hmm. Other people who live in that area also go to that Starbucks.
Truth.
Chances are they may have seen your face. You might be a regular. You don't know that they live in the area, whatever it is in that situation. If you frequent and maybe it's not a Starbucks, maybe it's even better. Maybe it's like a local little cafe, right? Even better.
Or your local karaoke bar.
Or your local karaoke bar, right? But whatever establishment that you frequent normally, your grocery store, you can pick a geographical location around the grocery store you go to every day. You'd be surprised. I mean, if you walk into, like I walk into the Walmart all the time, I see a lot of familiar faces. Mm-hmm. I may not know these people personally, but I see them at Walmart all the time. Mm-hmm. They either work there or they shop there. So if you could pick a geographical location around places that you frequent, you're more likely to bump into people that recognize you, that know of you. They may not know who you are yet. Maybe they've been curious because you see each other all the time and you happen to knock on the door like, oh, I've seen you before. It's a conversation starter, right? Another idea is a for sale by owner area. If you're trying to really target people who have their hand in the air, who actually have problems or need help doing what it is that you do, like if you're in real estate, for example, a for sale by owner is a good geographical area to door knock around. They have a sign in their yard that says, I'm trying to sell my home. The neighbors have seen that they have a sign in the yard that says they want to sell their home, right? And you go talk to the for sale by owner that could land you a potential deal there, but at the same time, there are other neighbors in the area that have questions about that for sale sign. So you want to make sure that you're using that geographical location.
Right, because the people in the area, they're sitting there watching it because it affects them as well.
Absolutely.
And if any of them are thinking of selling, if any of them are thinking of listing anytime soon, they definitely are keeping an eye on it because they want to know, is it going quickly? Is it going fast? Is it going slow? Did they get what they asked for? Are they getting more than what they asked for? How much equity do I have in my home? All these questions,
right?
Yeah.
All of those questions. Those are exactly the type of questions that people around the neighborhood are going to have when they see that for sale by owner sign. They're also going to wonder if that person actually sold a home as a for sale by owner, because they might be thinking about selling it themselves, and they're thinking, okay, well, if that guy can sell it by himself, I'm going to try to sell it by myself. Mm-hmm. Right? And you as the expert realtor can come around and say, check it out, I'm going to be helping this guy, right? This is the information. These are the questions that he might have had, or these are the comps in your area that are going around. Let me help you get this property sold, so you're not, either you're working with this new for sale by owner, or you don't sit on the market like this for sale by owner, right?
Right.
Whatever the situation is that's working in your area, but it's just a means to an end. You're not out there trying to close a deal. You're not out there trying to get a contract on these first couple door knocks. You're out there to build a relationship, to be of service to others, to give the information that they need to make a more informed decision. And then it's going to be your job to maintain that relationship and be top of mind so that when they're ready to transact, you're there, right? And that's all the difference in the world, right? That's where door knocking takes it to a whole new level. You're building relationships. Mm-hmm. And yes, are people going to be a little mean sometimes when you knock on a door and they don't want to talk to you? Absolutely. But that's the first attempt. You're going to come around a little bit different at a different time. It might be a different spouse at that time. It might be somebody else, right? But over time, you're going to get to talk to people. Over time, you're going to build these relationships with these people. And over time, you're going to be known in that area as the realtor, right? So when a sign goes up and it may not be your listing, that neighbor is going to give you a call and be like, hey, this house just went on the market. Can you tell me a little bit about it? When you get to that point, you've been door knocking correctly.
Nice. I like that.
Right? Because that's when you've built the relationship in your neighborhood or in that established farmers market.
Farmers market.
In that established market that you've been farming, When you do that, that's the type of response you want. That's
for
the
what it's
relationship
worth.
you've built.
Farmers market is a perfect type of place also to go out and prospect and talk to people, because when it comes, I mean, have you ever been to a farmers market? You homebody?
Not really. I've driven by them. I'm like, look at all those people. Man, there must be no parking. Let's keep going.
We're gonna have to change some of your habits, man. I'm telling you. We need to get out there and talk to all these people. And farmers markets are awesome because there's so many people out there, and everybody wants to talk to you and tell you about what it is that they do as well.
For sure.
So everybody who is a vendor at the farmers market, obviously, they want to tell you about what it is that they're doing. Everybody that's out there looking at stuff, you know, you could just bump into somebody and be like, oh my gosh, look at that trinket, whatever it is, and look at how cool it is. And they're like, oh yeah, I love it. Da, da, da. And then you just kind of get to talking from there. And next thing you know, you have a relationship. Bada bing, bada boom. Who knows what it could lead to?
Absolutely. And I mean, we've spent the last 25 minutes talking about just simply door knocking. That's one way to generate business. That's one way to get out there and be in front of people who are transacting in the world, of people who are looking to buy or sell, looking to do whatever it is that they're going to do. It's just one lead generation source. And even with that one, you need to make sure you schedule your time to go. Is it going to rain in San Diego? It did yesterday. So, I mean, it's quite possible that it rains in San Diego. But for the most part, we got beautiful weather. Is it a little chilly? Sure. Put a jacket on, wear some pants, throw on the boots. It's boot weather, right? Throw on a little beanie, whatever it's going to do to keep you warm. But you can be out there door knocking, getting out there and talking to people. And I'll be 100% honest. Most agents in real estate or insurance or whatever, in sales in general, do not like to door knock. You know why? Because it's uncomfortable. They usually don't know what they're going to say. They don't know what they're going to talk about. They don't know how they don't want to hear no, or afraid that for some reason they think that there's going to be a gun on the other side of that door that they're going to walk into every single time, right? Something is always going to stop them from going out there and doing it. And if you want probably one of the more productive ways to generate leads, it's going to be being in front of people, eye to eye, face to face contact. And door knocking does that for you.
It definitely does. And remember while you're out there that you are building your brand, and have a dedication to your brand. Not only are you out there door knocking, but you have to have the social media presence as well. I'm sorry, it's just the world that we're living in. You have to be out there. You have to be partnering. If you're not going to do your own social media stuff, you have to be partnering with people that can help you put that kind of stuff together, create content, and etc. You are your brand. You have a presence in social media, and if you don't, you are definitely doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah, I want to throw this one out there. We all have that little bit of vanity piece, right? We all want to be on social media, and you know what's even cooler than being on our social media feeds? Being on other people's social media feeds. So maybe while you're door knocking, you can just be like, hey, you know what? Do you mind if I go on Facebook Live and, ask you questions about the neighborhood? You seem like somebody who knows a lot about what's going on.
Ooh, nice.
Right?
I like it.
And then just hop on. Be like, hey, I'm here, blah, 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 and door knocking this area. I'm interviewing so-and-so, whatever. Hey, can you tell me a little bit about this neighborhood? Is this a good place to be? How long have you lived here? Right? Let them tell their story. They're going to love to tell their story to you. Is it for everybody? No. But there are a lot of people who want to be there, resident experts, right? And you're giving them the opportunity to do so. So if you go out there and do that on a door knock on a day-to-day basis, you're making a social connection. You're cranking out the social media. You're reaching out to their network. I mean, there's a lot of different things that you can pull if you bring a camera with you, or if you bust out your cell phone, if you go on Facebook Live. You make a good social connection. You start to build that relationship. Think about every relationship that you've ever had. Usually the relationship is good because you've had some sort of social experience together, right?
Yep.
Music is better when you experience it in a situation. Relationships are stronger when you experience some sort of trial, some sort of tribulation, some sort of emotional connection. You're putting somebody on the spot that's willing to go on Facebook Live with you. Now you have this video proof of the two of you doing something and being of value to other people. So I don't know. Have I tried that personally? Not yet. I haven't tried that. It just came to mind right now, but I will try it. So you're gonna see me do some random open house drop bys on Facebook Live or some.
All right, we're gonna hold you to it.
I will. I'll do some. So just to try it out and see what happens. What's the worst that can happen? They tell you no. They were gonna tell you no anyways, but at least you tried and you look a little bit different going out there giving that a shot than just knocking on a door with a piece of paper. Just throwing it out there.
There you go. And we're always working to bring value to others.
All right, so we're rounding the bend here on time. So as always, if you have any questions, shoot us an email, hernan@csfirst.com, james@csfirst.com. You can find us on social media at Business Bros Pod. And at Business Bros Pod?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right? I said it right? Okay.
At Business Bros Pod. Find us on Twitter, YouTube,
Instagram,
Snapchat.
Well, not Snapchat.
Not Snapchat.
Not Snapchat.
Right.
That one's my personal one, but I don't even know what my name is on it. But maybe I'll put a little thing and you can click on it or whatever it is. But anyways, that's all we got for you guys today. Peace.
Bye-bye.
And I'm out. The Mad Titan.